interviewing my mother, Tammy Prosper.
Hello.
Okay, so first question.
Yes.
What was your last leadership role?
Well, it's a very interesting question. Thank you very much, Flame. I will never say that I had a last leadership role because I'm always in a leadership role. I tend to have natural abilities to do leadership activities, and therefore, there is no last leadership role. I believe that leadership it can transcend all activities, whether or not you are getting paid to be a leader or if you're just doing leadership. So, my last leadership role, if you mean like, are you talking about in the house?
In general.
In general. So my last leadership role is I also help my friend with her various businesses. So I do give a lot of strategic advice and proposals. So I'm a leader in that way.
Okay.
Thank you.
How would you describe your leadership style? Would you say you're more autocratic, democratic, or laissez-faire?
Okay, I would say that I'm very democratic, but I'm also very cognizant of the fact that it cannot be a system where everybody makes a decision. It's nice to have the input from people, but as a leader, I believe that you have to make a decision on this is the direction that I believe that we should go into. I will take the considerations and the opinions of others because, of course, that helps make everything better when you see different points of view because people are coming from different experiences, different best practices, etc. So putting that into enfolding it in within your leadership vision, it helps. So I'm going to say I'm democratic, but I'm not democratic to the point where it's debilitating. I do take a position, and so democratic with the end finality.
Okay, what is something that you find rewarding about being a leader?
What I like is I like being able to pull different ideas, different people's, different visions together under one kind of an umbrella role. So I do really find that rewarding when a vision can come together. I find it great when people are excited to see how their vision is going to unfold. I find it great to see how the surprise elements of the unknown, how that can be used to the advantage of the overall vision. So I find the whole excitement, the whole like unfolding of a plan, very rewarding.
What is one memory you have where you feel you deeply affected a student or just another person in a positive way?
Okay, so I have dealt with a lot of people who are students as well as new employees that were a student, but then they've been bridged in as a full-time employee. And one of the things that I find, did you ask me about if it's rewarding?
Well, no, it's a memory where you feel you affected this person in a positive way.
Okay, great. So one of the things is one of my previous positions, I had two people who were very new to the whole work environment, and then sometimes being in the government's a bit tricky because there's that whole element of how do I say it? There's the whole element of work that has to be done, but it's not always like A plus B equals C. There needs to be some thinking behind why you're suggesting A. There needs to be some analysis of why B will work with A. And there needs to be a good understanding of how to tell the story of A plus B is equal to C. So sometimes when you don't have a lot of experience of writing out a story that is not within a particular template, it gets confusing. So it has been, it was awesome to work with these two young people. And they always wanted to work with me because I bring clarity to the direction that might be given without the real particular fine template and do this, do that. So I bring clarity to that point of where it's like, okay, let's think these things through and let's think of how we can tell the story of what's supposed to be done from this point to this point to this point. So it was rewarding when the students were always on my team. Even if I said, okay, aren't you supposed to be over here? That was very rewarding, that they always wanted to stay with me and see what new activities and what plans that I had to do.
What was your first leadership role?
So I will say my first leadership role, I've always had those tendencies to like lead and to direct and to organize things. So even I'll say my first official one that I could think about. So I've always been doing that no matter what the situation would be. I was a participant in Junior Achievement Program, which is a program that helps young people learn about business and different things like this. And even back then, I was in high school and I would take the course. And so what we were doing was learning about a business, setting up a product, learning how to sell it, market it, and do all those things that's involved with a business. So we as a group came up with, and we were under the direction of adults at that time who were business leaders in the community, and they would volunteer their time to help us. So at that time we had created selling like trivets, which is like a hot plate for a hot plate to put your stuff on. One of the people that was in the group, their parent had like, I don't know, tiles or something, and then we created a trivet out of these tiles. Like we did a base, we did all this stuff. So we were supposed to sell these tiles or trivets to, most people sold them to friends and family and things like this. I ended up getting a contract to sell it at Second Cup in Plaster Orleans, and so I sold the most in the company, and everybody's like, what? Because where people were selling like 10 or 20, I sold 100. So everyone was like, oh, I never thought about it. And I was like, yeah, because I think outside the box. That's another thing I think leaders have to do. They have to be prepared to be able to think outside the box, be innovative, and be creative.
So you basically answered my next question, which
Okay.
was, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting their adventure in leading?
Okay, so I think that if you're just starting your adventure in leading, you have to recognize there's no right or wrong path. There's only your path. So if you're starting off, you have to secure yourself with the knowledge that your ideas, they matter. How you decide to move forward, how you decide to implement them, hold confidence to your ideas, your vision. Other people that might not be able to see your vision right away, that's okay. Secure yourself with the knowledge that your idea is a good idea. And, don't bother or don't chase after people who don't see your vision or people who are not going to contribute to your vision. Put your energy and your thoughts and focus on the people who will be able to see your vision and who are interested in helping you see your vision. So my advice is to work with the people who are willing to work on your team. And you don't always have to be spending time and energy trying to convince people that your vision is a good vision. So work towards the positive, minimize the negative efforts in that regard, and hold fast to your dreams. I believe that, there's a leadership abilities in everybody. So some people are, like you had asked me earlier, some people lead with a democratic way, some people lead with an autocratic way, some people are very quiet. But all of these things, there's not a catch-all definition to define what a leader could be. It's to take the bull by the horns and work with your vision and try to encourage other people to come on your team, whatever the capacity is. They don't have to be there for the long haul. That person could be a contributor for just that one little section of your plan. Or you can have somebody who could be the contributor for the whole duration of your plan. The point is, you just bring people on your plan, and as they go and come, it's okay. And being a leader is not about throwing your voice around, but it's about making sure that your plan, your vision becomes a reality. So that's what I encourage leaders to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you for letting me interview you.
Thank you very much for interviewing me. That was very fun.
Yes.